All right, Virgo, this one's a little bit rough. So keep your temper. Don't allow anger to rule you, and then you have mending. This is what I'm going to say to you with this one. It's not about needing to go out of your way to try to heal a situation with a person who may have broken your heart. Okay, it's about healing things for you so that you can move on and set yourself free. Now, some of you may literally be really pissed off over the fact that someone else is not willing to do the same in terms of forgiveness and letting go. But I would also say that maybe some of you lost your shit, like straight up, and got really pissed off, and now we're needing to heal after, the argument. But either way, your anger misdirected with keep your temper is not going to help you here. You need to get to a place of healing and forgiving, even if that means that the other person isn't doing the same. So for a lot of you, this is going to have to do with a serious argument. But again, it's about your own healing here. Now, this bothered me, considering those two. So from the dark mirror, fated to suffer, the moon phase is the waxing gibbous and the stage is depression. It says if you know the future, you forsake your choices. Only with no fate, life is free to unfold into unknown shores. So, when you act like you are fated to suffer in every situation, then that has to become your reality, because that is the way that you're thinking. You are in control of your own fate and destiny. So you can't stay in this place of thinking that you're forever going to be in pain with every situation that you deal with, or, just relationships in general, whatever it is. You are not fated to suffer. It's just that is what you believe right now. And if you continue to do that, that is all you're going to experience. All right, Virgo, here's your overall. Hey, the Six of Wands. So getting victory over difficult circumstances, possibly. Recognition where it's due, but a personal victory here, and that's good. That's good. Now, in the past, the Page of Cups. So in the past here, we could be talking about the communication of emotions. Like I always say, for this one, it's the new feelings, things that you have not felt before, or feelings that are being resurfaced in a new way. Now, you could be dealing with somebody who is emotionally mature, but I look at this as the purity of emotions. But with the pages, again, it's communication or messages that are coming through. Okay. In the present, the High Priestess. Interesting. So, if the Page of Cups is about what you are feeling right now, the High Priestess in the present moment would suggest that some of you are not expressing those emotions because you're not sure. That, or we're talking about you becoming aware of something that you knew, a part of you knew, but, didn't have anything to support it. Like I always say with her, it's like, I know, but I don't have the facts to support it. But this could be you going, okay, here's this communication coming through. But instead of acting on that, you're kind of watching the situation unfold. That, or for some of you, you're just keeping your feelings to yourself right now. Oh boy. All right, so future conditions, the Knight of Wands. So I look at that and I think the Knight of Wands is acting with passion, but it's also about getting caught up in the whirlwind of passion. But then you have the Six of Wands here, right? So this could be about attention and recognition that is coming through in a way that is going to be emotional. Some of you are keeping some things to yourself. Literally, this could be about secret communications that are going on. And it may be, about whether or not to take action towards something, but it looks here like you go full force into something new with a lot of passion here. But there's this sense of victory. It's interesting. Okay. Your best path to follow, strength. So I look at that with everything that's going on here, and I think, besides needing to find the courage and the strength to, speak up about how you feel, I think it's that, you need to hold on to your inner strength while going through this here. You know what I mean? Like getting so caught up in this like passion and not letting it go to your head, if that makes sense. But I don't feel bad about it. But I question strength. I mean, clearly with the oracle cards, keep your temper, that is strength. Not getting out of control and losing your shit. But if you are in a place where you're really angry over the fact that you have had to deal with heartbreak or just a difficult situation, period, it would make sense why you're the high priestess in the present moment when it comes to new emotions. But we'll see here. Yeah. You're keeping things to yourself with the Four of Pentacles. And it makes me wonder if that Knight of Wands isn't somebody else that is constantly like on the move. I mean, absolutely, we could be talking about somebody who's constantly like in and out of your life. Like the passion is being rekindled here in future conditions. But that's only because those emotions are being stirred up with that Page of Cups. But again, I don't see it as a bad thing. But you, with the High Priestess, this is, no, I don't want anything to change and I don't want to feel any more loss. I just want things to stay the way they are. But I don't know, that Six of Wands, though, I feel good about it. Like, I feel like things go in a better direction. I just think that right now you're keeping yourself back. It's like you're holding yourself back from expressing too much. But I think you get caught up in it, though, with that Knight of Wands, right? And there may be a part of you that's needing to find your inner strength not to get swept away. Oh, yeah. Your hopes and your fears, the Page of Wands. And, this is, I think for a lot of you, if you're holding your own emotions in right now, whether or not somebody is communicating to you, I think that the hope here is that if you follow this path that you have not been down before, that it's going to lead you to, something good, right? Because the Page of Wands, again, communication, it's the communication that you want to hear, but it's also about taking a path that you've never taken before, because you're talking about lack of experience. But this is always a good thing. It's always good news. Now, the fear would be that you go down this path not knowing what to expect and it not being any different than where you've been before. And that may be why you're kind of like holding back, but I still think that there is a part of you that may like enjoy this. But it may have to do with attention and recognition, though, with that Six of Wands. But it's still a victory for you in your life. Oh, man. Oh. And then coming out the Page of Swords. So we may be looking at the victory in a different way here. Now I'm kind of understanding that. The Page of Swords, and again, it's all this communication that's going back and forth. So it makes me wonder if there isn't a whole lot of contact that's going on, if we're talking about, you and another person here. But it's like you're communicating back and forth. At some point, things look like they're going well, but then it kind of moves into somebody doing the in and out here, because with the Page of Swords, it's like getting the news that you don't want to hear, right? And I always see that as half-truths. Now, for some of you, if you're getting caught up in the passion here, and it is a victory, you may have some questions that you need to have answered. Now, on the other hand, when I was talking about this victory being something different, it may be because you found the strength to hold back from getting caught up. Even though you're hoping to hear what you want to hear, I think that there's a part of you that knows better, which is why you're holding back. And then you have this Page of Swords. There is a huge gap for me between the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. I question the truth here. I never do with the Knight of Swords. I question the action and whether or not it was warranted. But with the Page of Swords, my first thing with this is, what is this little bastard up to? Because this is about somebody who could use information any which way that they choose for their own gain. But I also look at that as half the story, not having full disclosure, which is why it's about, asking questions, needing to look at the details, right? And then the Five of Cups, yeah, I do think that some of you may be let down. I still don't see the Six of Wands as a good thing. I think it's just about your perspective on it. And I think that there is going to be a personal victory for you, especially if you find the strength to kind of hold back and not get caught up. That, or if you find the strength here to let go of this and go on a different path somewhere else, not the same road that you've been down before with somebody who is clearly, not very mature in their emotions, in the way that they communicate, in the way that they act. But with Judgment and then looking at the Page of Cups, I think that for a lot of you, you've been through these emotions before, and you've also been through the emotions of another person before. For those of you who are looking at this in terms of relationship. And that could be any relationship for that matter. But I think that this is very specifically about you and another person, and somebody who is very immature. Very immature. But with Judgment, I look at that and I think that a lot of you have already looked at this. And it's been resurrected in your life so many times that you already know how this situation is going to go. I don't think that this is about the wake-up call. I think it's about, needing to just be done with this once and for all, laying it to rest, right? And going, okay, it is what it is. But I also think that in terms of your own emotions, you've been putting some harsh judgments on yourself, if that makes sense. It's like, why am I allowing this to be renewed again? I know better than this, right? Now, with the Four of Cups again, and the Four of Pentacles, you're trying to maintain right now. And I think that a lot of you are really upset over the fact that that Ace of Cups is just not being filled. And had it been anything else in the Page of Swords, I would have been saying something different here. But with the Five of Cups following that, absolutely. This is about being disappointed, being let down. I feel like everything's going to be fine for you. I just think that, especially emotionally here, it's going to be difficult to deal with. And I think that there's going to be a part of you that may be putting some harsh judgment on yourself, okay? And with the Four of Cups, you already know that you're not going to get the fulfillment that you need from this, but you're willing to, I think, see this through again to having this emotional devastation. But we're still looking at victory here in this, I think, finally being, done and over with. I don't think that this is something that you're going to go back to after this. But, I question that, though, because I'm not seeing a completion. Judgment is big, yes, but, it's only connected to the past. But I don't know that you would continue to do this, because the Six of Wands would suggest to me that there is some victory over this for you. It's just that the way that you're seeing it may not be like that, It may be that you're dealing with somebody who is, like, acting entitled to your attention, but yet they're not recognizing how they're treating you. But the personal victory here is that, if you find the strength to hold yourself back, then you won't have to experience this. It's interesting. But it makes me look back at the Oracle cards and think, yeah, now I understand. Now I get it. And play. Needing to take the action to treat yourself better so that you can enjoy life. And that's straight up what that's saying, especially if you're continuing to allow somebody to come in and out on you all the time. And I hate seeing the Knight of Wands that way, but I think that that is the case only because of that goddamn Page of Swords coming out. And again, it's general. It's only going to be for some of you, like I always say. But you, more than anything here, need to start treating yourself better. And I love you. These are very important words. This is basically saying that even though you may be dealing with somebody who is immature, you need to focus on the good parts of them, and you need to say, I love you, even if that means I love you and I'm done dealing with you. Now, I love you could be you needing to say that to yourself and focus on the good in yourself. But I look at that and think that you can't judge everybody else because of one asshole that you've dealt with, right? That's kind of what comes up for me with focus on love. But it's all about you treating yourself better, though. You know, taking the action to treat yourself better. So it may be that you need to focus on self-love and make sure that, you know, you love yourself. But I love you. That is a way of releasing any kind of heartbreak, though, too. Like, I'm going to focus on the good parts that I remember about you, and I love that part of you, and I love you for the experience, but I need to start treating myself better.